So Nod is a hit-and-run faction. They don't have a lot of armor, but they have a lot of speed and a lot of offensive capability. One thing you need to do with Nod is make clever use of their powers. Their units on their own are very dangerous, but when you use the powers with the units, you'll find some interesting combinations that the opponent won't see coming. The Nod Venom is a fast-moving, stealth-detecting, anti-infantry vehicle. So one of the things you can do to take advantage of this, rather than spending a lot of money on base defenses, is putting it on a patrol path around your base, or simply leaving it scattered around the back parts of your base on guard mode. What this will allow you to do is concentrate on other parts of the battle while your Venoms cover terrain for anything that comes in, like a commando or an engineer. Engineers and commandos are extremely vulnerable to aircraft since they don't have anti-aircraft weapons. But what will happen is engineers running into your base, even one Venom will be able to take them all out before they get to one of your buildings. So the Raider Buggy has a special ability called an EMP burst. So what it can do is it can drive up next to enemy vehicles, and it can use this burst to disable them, allowing other units to attack them. Oftentimes, though, the Raider Buggy will be destroyed en route, as it's not that heavily armored. You can use a cloaking field on it so that the enemy vehicles can't see them coming. Get right up next to them, use several Raider Buggies at once, and just pop them all with the EMP burst. Follow it up with some Scorpion tanks, and they're sitting ducks.
Fire! Settling in. Gliding over.
Test complete.
So Nod, as you know, is a fast-moving force. That means that their artillery is fast-moving too. The beam cannon has a very long range, but one of the things that can be used is a defense bonus. So you can use the beam cannon to charge up your defenses, specifically the Obelisk of Light, so that they have increased range and damage. That way, when you're not on offense, you can still use your artillery pieces that you've built. A charged up Obelisk of Light can take out just about anything in 1 or 2 shots. When you use several beam cannons together, they combine their fire for a stronger effect. Beam cannons can also be used in conjunction with Venoms. They can bounce their beams off of Venom aircraft to fire at targets that are further away or over things like cliffs or obstructed areas.
Check.
So Nod has several very useful powers that they can use to their advantage when on offense. They have the ability to seed Tiberium, which normally allows them to increase the growth rate of a Tiberium field or just seed a new Tiberium field near their base for harvesting. You can use this offensively, however. If you drop it on an enemy base, you can follow it up with a Catalyst Missile. A Catalyst Missile makes anything standing on Tiberium take significant amounts of damage. So if you drop Tiberium all over the enemy base, and then hit it with a Catalyst Missile, everything in the radius is going to take a massive amount of damage.
Burn them out!
So the Nod Avatar is definitely the heaviest hitter on the Nod faction. But it starts off in a fairly normal state, walking around, 2 legs and a laser not unlike the one you find on the Obelisk. But if you want to, you can upgrade it with other vehicles. You can walk up to a vehicle, such as a flame tank, rip the flamethrower off it, put it on its back, or take the laser off a beam cannon, the detector off of a bike, or the stealth module off of a stealth tank. Or it could take all 4 of them and upgrade itself into something of a super weapon. An avatar with 2 lasers will take out buildings and vehicles in short order. An avatar with a flamethrower can take out infantry much more quickly, and it can even do massive damage to structures. Of course, an avatar with a stealth module, well, you're not going to see that coming, and it's going to be very hard to defend against such a heavy unit when you didn't know it was there.
Dead. Weapon prime.
Remember that when you take the weapon off of another unit, you destroy the unit in the process, so while this makes your avatar extremely valuable, It's an expensive proposition. Make sure you follow it around with engineers, just in case you happen to lose it. That way your opponent doesn't turn it against you.
Enemy units sighted.
So there you've seen how you can use some of the nod powers with the units to make both of them a lot more powerful. We've seen a little bit of this on GDI, but with nod it's even more noticeable.